Viewer discretion is advised.
Another 4L team, the Vikings. Gary Anderson misses a kick. Blair Walsh misses a kick.
And he's still a little bit head-fucked from last year's Super Bowl, but you got to hand it to the Seahawks. They've been really brave in defeat today.
What do you mean brave in defeat? They haven't lost the fucking game yet, dickhead.
No, he's one of the best long kickers of all time. There's no way he's going to miss this.
Well, this ain't a long kick, dickhead. He's 27 yards out. Anything can happen.
Yeah, you're the dickhead. He's a professional. There's no way he'll miss this. Shut the fuck up, you two. You both sound like Phil Shimsh.
I swear to God, Shane, if he misses this, I'm gonna punch you straight in the fucking face.
Yeah. Here we go. Here's the kick. Straight through
he's
the
missed it!
fucking...
He's missed it! Go and get fucked!
I can't believe he missed that.
He's missed it! Can you believe it? Oh, excluding you, Pawn, that is the biggest choke I've ever seen! Oh, it's like fucking a fat chick with a 12-inch vagina! How do you miss?
Well, clearly the ball wasn't placed laces out. It's not his fault.
Oh, that's it. I've had enough of you.
I was... Fuck, mate, I don't think Shane's breathing.
Oh, well, he's a fucking oxygen thief anyway. How good was that finish? Oh, fucking top game.
Favre throws an interception. You let Randy Moss go, and you lost 4 freaking Super Bowls. 4.
Speaking of teams that have bad luck with kickers, you backed up the Brinks truck for Kirk Cousins thinking the QB was the problem when you once again didn't sign a kicker or shore up that O-line. It's like you do the same thing over and over again expecting different results. Actually, you don't expect different results. Keenum's former team, the Vikings, use a really cool font for their logo, sort of a sideways version of the horns, and that same design is subtly represented on the jersey sleeves. See, you all think I'm just going to throw shade at these teams during these critiques, but you might actually learn something about design as I threw in that last tidbit as the kicker. After the Metrodome suffered this giant collapse in 2010, one of the NFL's newest stadiums got to witness this giant collapse just last year. Obviously built with a sturdy roof, this dome looks like a capsized boat or a very ugly turtle. They say it's really hard to play in a dome. It's even harder when the dome team is piping in fake crowd noise over the PA system. And that's what Denny Green's son, Jeremy, told ESPN. The Vikings have denied this, and they have never been punished for it. And Jeremy Green is a disgusting pedo. Look that up.
Go to Vikings, Ziggy Wilf. I guess we are in the slumlord section of our NFL owners, as the Wilf family, who emigrated from Germany, started out that way in the 50s and eventually became home builders too. Ziggy was initially an attorney and joined the family business, which still operates a ton of apartments in New Jersey. He bought the Vikes in 2005. In 2013, Wilf was caught defrauding his former business partners of revenue. Just like Case Keenum, and their offense was found out to be a fraud in the playoffs versus the Eagles. Christmas Eve gave the Viking fans a present they will never forget. Leading the Bengals 24-3 at the half, it looked like the Vikes could go to bed with hallucinations of sugar plums in their head. Only Jeff Blake and the Bengals had other ideas, as they scored 24 unanswered points in the second half, including a field goal as time expired to hand out loads of coal to the Vikings faithful, and even worse, crush their playoff hopes. The 1984 Niners were really, really good, and they shit on a lot of teams on their way to an 18-1 record and winning the Super Bowl. This 51-7 blowout got so bad the Vikes put in Archie Manning in one of his last games. Joe Montana threw 3 TDs and then sat. The Vikes had an abysmal season, finishing 3-13. Speaking of the old gunslinger, it would be another dumb throw he made that would backfire all over the city like a chemical spill from a fudge factory. On January 24th, 2010, after an incredible year, Brett Favre was seemingly headed back to the Super Bowl. Facing third down on the New Orleans 38, the Vikings needed a few short yards to get in better range for kicker Ryan Longwell, whose career best was 55 yards. Instead of handing the ball off or a quick dump off or throwing the ball away, the old gunslinger decides to take a gamble
tackle and throw across his body right into the hands of Terry Porter, and we all know how this ends, with Favre sending dick pics to co-workers. That's how it ends. A great site for climate-controlled football, but not so much for baseball. Well, if you were the road team. The Metrodome utilized a roof that was held up via air pressure. It was demolished in 2013 and is now the site of US Bank Stadium. The 20-year home of the Vikings and often considered a substandard venue for football, the Met was left abandoned in 1981 after the Vikes moved into the Metrodome. The site rotted for 10 years, then was demolished and replaced with the Mall of America, the USA's largest mall. A red chair inside the mall's amusement park marks Harmon Killebrew's longest home run, as does a plaque marking home plate.
First of all, this dude needs to be changed to look more like a sad Fran Tarkenton, and let's add 2 more horns to represent all 4 Super Bowl losses, and change those braids to laces to remind your placeholder to always put them out.
Dermott is the snapper, and the kick is no good!
If he had held the ball laces out like you're supposed to.
But then we get to the Vikings, who, if they were alive back then, their fans remember blowing 4 Super Bowls, then a slew of failures to follow. Yeah, there was a miracle in Minneapolis, followed by a cornfield dump in Philly. Vikes fan is proud though. I think many of them accept their fate.